everybody, this is Kohdok here, and it's time to once again return to the world of clone brick, those non-LEGO brick brands made all around the world, and see how they compare to the Big L themselves. Now, one of the things that LEGO's been doing lately that have proven to be highly popular are their very detailed model sets. These are models similar to those made by Revell or Tamiya based on real-life cars, planes, and ships rendered in a way that makes you say, wow, that's made of LEGO? There is, however, one popular kind of model kit that LEGO refuses to touch, and that is models based on war machines. No, not that war machine. There's plenty of that war machine. I'm talking about vehicles used in combat, often involved with one of the two world wars. And I support this decision, because LEGO translates out to play well, and modern warfare is totally incompatible with that idea. But again, that brings us to the world of clone brick. I've already showcased several brands on this channel that are more than willing to make the sorts of things that LEGO won't. In this case, today we're talking about Cobi, a Polish brand who seems to have found their niche in making truly amazing models out of LEGO pieces in the domains LEGO is unwilling to tread. Just to clarify, I too am personally against war, but even I admit making these kinds of model kits as a kid, so to me, it's honestly an innocent activity. Cobi has already worked to expand outside of Europe, selling their kits to places like the Smithsonian and other historical museums in the United States. They've made the Red Baron's plane, the Spitfire, and don't get me started on the number of tank sets they've made, but I feel that by far their most impressive sets are the ones based on battleships, one of which I will be covering today. Now, just a couple of disclaimers before I go on. Cobi did send me this set for free for the purpose of review, and I did once work for them for about 5 minutes through a third-party company. Honestly, it's how I know that they exist. Actually, now that I think about it, LEGO means play well, but what does Cobi mean? To supersede and replace? Whoa! Check out the rocks on these guys! They're all like, LEGO replaced! Anyway, today we're taking a look at one of their model kits that was made in conjunction with World of Warships. This video is brought to you by World of Warships! Or it would have been if they'd answered any of my emails. So it is my pleasure to introduce you to the HMS Warspite.
私は Warspite。移動目標に対する長距離射撃の命中記録を持ってるの。
Oh boy, just what this video needs, a sidekick character. This video is brought to you by Azur Lane, except it isn't. Oh god, I need a sponsor. Anyway, when it comes to ships involved in World War II, you tend to hear about the Yamato and the Bismarck and the Enterprise. These huge technological marvels that didn't wind up doing much of anything, really. Actually, I take that back. Old Lucky E over here deserves its fearsome reputation. These two, on the other hand, they were supposed to be the huge threats, the big ships that sent a message to those out there, but the Warspite sank more ships in a single battle than these two ever did combined. Yeah, the pride of the Japanese and German navies got outperformed by a World War I clunker with bad steering. The HMS in the HMS Warspite's name stands for His Majesty's Ship Warspite.
戦場よ、私が参るわ。
I mean, I guess these days it would be called Her Majesty's Ship, but back when it was made, England still had a king, so...
Old battleship into new. HMS Warspite is ready at last to sail the seas again after extensive reconstruction.
The Queen Elizabeth-class battleship Warspite, or the Old Lady as she was known, was already famous before World War II when, during the First World War at the Battle of Jutland, it drove in front of a barrage intended for another ship, sparing its crew. This was completely by accident, bad steering remember, but don't tell the crew of the HMS Warrior that. Her accomplishments in World War II are a mile long. Her battle group sank 9 German ships at the Battle of Narvik, her scout plane carried out the first successful aerial bombarding of a submarine, participated in both theaters of war, was instrumental at both the invasions of Italy and Normandy, and most famously of all, landed the single longest hit of a projectile weapon on a moving target when it beamed the Italian ship Giulio Cesare from over 15 miles away. We're talking the OG 360 no-scope here. HMS Warspite was a ship that served with distinction, fighting against tyranny until its guns literally gave out from overuse. It didn't really have like a valiant last stand, but it did have one heck of a send-off to her. Which is why this little number is one of the battleships Cobi put into its line. At 1,420 pieces, it's actually the smallest of their battleship sets, with others like the Yamato beating it by over 1,000 pieces. Yeah, this is their idea of a small set. I mean, it's no Millennium Falcon, but Honestly, where do you put that thing? I mean, this thing I can at least see hanging out on top of a long bookshelf or something. It's actually only a tiny bit shorter than the box, so if you find this thing in a store and want a sense of scale, then there you go. At the same time, it has that blockiness that I enjoy seeing in LEGO-style model kits, helped in large part by its custom slope pieces. I can only imagine how people who make custom LEGO sets must be reacting to all of these different cheese wedges. There are actually a number of interesting parts of this ship. Aside from the wedges, which are also used in other models, we have these Unikitty horns, which have been repurposed to look like gun jacketing, these stacking posts used for antenna and rigging, and most impressively of all, these little ring dealies that can turn any flat plate into a double-sided stud plate. These little things should be sold in bulk if you ask me. They are paramount to this design's bilateral symmetry. The only place I can really accuse this set of cheating, that is custom molding parts rather than making it out of Lego, are the lifeboats. But you know, they're small enough and they can clearly be used in other models, so they actually kind of get a pass from me. As for brick quality, Cobi prides himself on how well its bricks are made. Unlike a lot of cheaper bricks that tend to feel kinda soft and smushy compared to Lego, Cobi bricks are very tight and rigid. Perhaps a bit too tight. Might want to pack a brick separator, I'm just saying. A lot of the detail looks very nice, from the bulging red armor belt to the multicolored paint to even the gun turrets. Like a lot of fun boat designs, a lot of the building is done sideways to get this effect. Maybe could have done a little work on the airplane though. It doesn't really look like the fairy swordfish the Warspite would have been packing. And this plane is kind of famous for being the first plane to ever sink a submarine, so maybe it could have gotten a little more work? Maybe that's why the Enterprise got delayed. Also, never been a fan of decals, especially ones that cover multiple bricks, hence why I didn't use them here. They just look kinda tacky, but that's a small consideration in an otherwise stellar set. I didn't use the decals here and it still looks fantastic. I don't know, maybe the portholes could have been their own individual stickers or something? Either way, the World of Warships Warspite is a beautiful set, the smallest member of a line of battleships which should hopefully catch the eye of model enthusiasts who want the sorts of things that LEGO has failed to provide. I mean, that kind of thing is why I cover clone brick brands in the first place. I mean, LEGO isn't exactly everywhere at once, and in fact they've stopped making a lot of their basic stuff like Castle and Cowboy, so we have to go elsewhere to find what we want, so anybody who likes LEGO and war history has a perfect place to do this. It is a fantastic build. It's decently sized, it's decently time consuming. It's not something that will like take up your entire weekend, but you know, if you want to spend an afternoon with your kid building something fun, it's a perfect thing for that. So, thanks again for this return to the world of clone brick. This, again, is the HMS Warspite by Cobi Toys, and until next time, this is Kohdok signing off. Happy Memorial Day.